So in this way, vulnerability is courage. Courage is not weakness, as some may wrongly interpret it. It's actually vulnerability. It's our greatest measure of courage. There's no possible courage without it. Also, vulnerability is not about winning or losing. It's not concerned with that. That's a dualistic mind, calculating, fearful mind. In the words of Brené Brown, she says very interestingly that vulnerability means having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. So yeah, I know you are trembling at this particular moment. No? So fasten your seatbelt, don't leave the class. No, I'm seeing like 40 people are dropping from the class at this precise moment. So let me repeat it again for those courageous ones. No, so vulnerability means having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome, which is sometimes the exact opposite of how we move in life. Generally, we show up and are seen when we have complete control, or we think we have complete control over the outcome. And therefore, it's totally coward appearance. There's no courage there because you're not risking anything. So this is a very simple point, but very foundational one. How do you behave when you have no control over the outcome? Are you willing to show up, or generally you run and hide when everything goes beyond your control? So this idea or this definition of vulnerability also is closely related, brings to mind this first 3 step in Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, which start actually by admitting my powerlessness, our powerlessness regarding whatever addiction we may have, which is vulnerability. It goes out of my control. I cannot control the outcome. I'm weak, I'm frail. But after that, you open yourself and voluntarily put under the shelter of God or the higher force, as they will call it, a greater power, whatever, for spiritual, for empowerment. The so needed transition from personal effort to spiritual receptivity. So I make an effort to open myself, to acknowledge my brokenness, and open myself for spiritual descent, if you will. No? So those 3 steps, I mentioned those 3 steps for those who do not know it. But the first one is in Alcoholics Anonymous. And of course, you apply that beyond alcohol. There are so many addictions we all have in so many ways. So the first one is we admitted that we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. So you just replace the word alcohol with your whatever addiction is there. So we are powerless in connection to our addiction, and I lost control. So admit it. And that's the first step, admitting it's out of my control. That's courage, and that's vulnerability. You are showing up, and admitting. Admitting means I'm showing up and acknowledging my uncertainty, my risk, my emotional exposure. The second point is we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So you are opening the first crack there. You are opening, there's hope. It's not about me. I cannot restore this to sanity. It's totally way out of my control, but I'm opening myself for something else. And then third step, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. So officially making the decision, taking responsibility for that step, and open yourself for empowerment, basically. But it all began with vulnerability, and it converges into the idea of empowerment.